Greetings. Today the moon is in Sagittarius, so we have a focus on thinking about the bigger picture, making sense of what has been transpiring, and how we can make meaning or see the deeper meaning within what is unfolding. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Friday, January 24th. With the Sagittarius moon, we are also heading into so the moon is waning and heading into the upcoming new moon in Aquarius. So we're winding down the current moon cycle that began with the Capricorn new moon. We're still focusing on this building and thinking about the future and what we want to create, how we can plan and strategize and um, lay the foundations of what we ultimately, what our vision is for what we want to create. So, with the Sagittarius waning moon, we can think about, well, how do we um, understand what's been happening? How do we take that bigger picture, that bird's eye view that helps us to look at all the dots, right? Connect the dots down below, or see the forest, right? If you're getting up above the trees and just take that time to reflect on the meaning and to really Sagittarius is very optimistic. So it's about that bird in flight. It is about getting outside of the confines of our old thinking. It wants us to go past the existing boundaries and barriers of what we know, to think out, well, not think outside the box. That's more Aquarius, but Sagittarius is the archer. So it likes travel, right? It wants to get outside of our own backyard. And how does that inform our thinking? How does that help us to see the bigger picture, to make meaning? And Sagittarius is also the sign of the philosopher. So, really organizing our thoughts to condense them into the truth, right? What is the truth? And yesterday I was sharing about how the Scorpio moon brings in more complexity, a deeper truth, looking at how the truth has many layers to it. And when we just talk about what's on the surface, we're missing a lot of what is going on with those deeper layers. And so Sagittarius says, well, what are the different layers? What have we been feeling with the watery Scorpio moon? And what have we been noticing energetically? And giving us a chance to reflect, to think about what it all means and how to tell this story. And so optimism, right? I was talking talking about optimism. So optimism is this belief that there is something greater, right? And so it's that leap of faith, that ability to believe in what's important. And so the ability to reflect and see the bigger picture and put together the pieces of the puzzle helps us to see where we are, how to tell the story in a way that can be hopeful, can be positive, can be a story of inspiration, of hope. So looking for the ways that that shows up in your life, looking for the things that bring positive qualities into the world, into your life, looking at the ways that you can show up and bring those positive qualities. So we are, this is a good time to really take a bigger picture view, reflect on what's unfolding, and ask, yeah, the different things look different ways, but how can we put it all together to see a bigger picture of meaning? And how can we turn that into a story of hope, of believing in the human spirit, of believing in possibility, And how can we, put our own energy into how seeing things from that bigger picture of meaning. So, how do you want to tell this story, right? What do you want to tell a story of? And what does that look like for you? And what do you believe in? What do you have optimism about? What gives you hope? Tell those stories. This Sagittarius moon, it's waning energy, right? It's integrating, it's moving into a space of mystery, but it also wants to um, help us see the bigger picture and help us see the deeper truth and how we want to share that. Sagittarius also has to do with uh, storytelling, broadcasting, publishing, right? It's a way of getting a message out there. So think about the story and how you can tell it. How can you share it with people you know, or share it in ways that feel positive and hopeful? Really, really important in when how we tell the story matters. So, telling stories of hope and optimism, telling them to ourselves, telling them to those around us, telling them to our children, right? How are we going to talk about things in a way that remembers what is true and at deeper levels where that spirit of what is possible can be awakened? And of course, with the Capricorn moon cycle that we're completing, where that goes into what we're building. So part the story and telling that story is part of how we build the things we want to create in the future is by telling the story of what we are creating and then noticing how the different ways that story could be unfolding or something could be in alignment with that story and choosing that to be your version of the story. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. What is your story? How can you tell a story of meaning? Check in with me with a reading, or my offer for a Mars retrograde reading can help you connect with what that story is for you and how to contribute to the world you want to see evolve and unfold. And as I've mentioned, we're in times that feel a lot like breakdown, might feel destructive, but also there's a lot of constructive energy and creative energy possible in this time as well. So, how do you want to tell that story? Thanks so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms and astrologyheals.com. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for your support. I appreciate you. And I will see you next time.